Hey guys, it's CJ Spurl here. Welcome to the first episode of Black Trident TV. Black Trident TV is where I'm going to be talking to you about all sorts of stuff that I find interesting, and I'm pretty sure you will as well. A lot of subjects related to speculative fiction, including books, comic books, games, movies, TV, and, well, pretty much anything you can think of. So today's episode is about the Undead. The Undead have been part of our culture for a very long time now, going back hundreds of years, actually. It's probably longer than that. There's ancient hundreds of Greek myths about the undead, revenants, vampires weren't even vampires until the 1800s. But zombies are a more recent thing. Now, the zombie myth comes from voodoo culture originally, but they were never really undead per se. That was just a form of death. It was more about dead. They were more trance-like states. That was the culture at the time, but weren't really undead people. However, over the past 60 years or so, ever since George A. Romero introduced us to Night of the Living Dead, there's another one before that, I'm not 100% certain. But for the past 60 years, we've been introduced to things like the Night of the Living Dead, all sorts of different zombie movies. You can find free zombie movies right here on YouTube. And in particular, we have To Save Oneself by a local Vancouver director named Matt Campbell. Now, Matt made this film last year sometime, I believe, and have to admit, I was actually really impressed with it. You can find it right here on YouTube. The link is in the description below. It is... Creatures in the movie technically aren't zombies. They're infected. The movie was actually really well done. It was about 12 minutes long, hundreds. You can find the link to the movie right here on YouTube below. In the description. Now, the one thing I really appreciated about the movie were the stunts. I thought they were really well choreographed, really cool stunts. You're just gonna have to see it for yourself. Link to the movie right here on YouTube below. And I think that'll probably be good for that. I feel like I'm not doing this guy enough. It's a really good movie. The next segment of the show is going to be about tropes and trends that we find in our speculative fiction. This episode, it's about vampires and what the hell happened to them. Twilight. Back in the old days, vampires used to scare the hell out of us. Literally, we used stories of vampires to keep our children in bed at night. And guess what? We're all still here, so obviously the vampires didn't get them. The ones that did deserved it. Now, the term vampire didn't actually start being used until about the 1800s, and then it was Bram Stoker that romanticized the vampire ideal. Picturing him as an attractive older gentleman with a, nice suit and a cane, Vlad the Impaler, all that kind of crazy stuff. But the original vampires were actually bloated carcasses with long nails and long teeth. They didn't have fangs, their teeth were just pointy. And when you saw one, you didn't want to mess around with them too much. But now we got these Twilight kitties because we have to have sparkling vampires that glow in the sunlight, because that makes total sense. Just about as much sense as, the original vampire myths, but still. However, we put up with this and we put out shows like Twilight, The Vampire Diaries, and Rice's stuff wasn't too bad, actually, because they still had that whole evil motherfucker streak. What happened to vampires, man? What happened to vampires? Vampires were supposed to scare the crap out of us, but now every teenage girl just wants to go and bang them in the backseat of their fucking father's car. All right? That's bullshit, man. What happened to vampires? We need to bring back the 30 days a night, rip your face off, tear your throat out. They are there to hunt you, not bang you. Get over it. And that brings us to the next segment, where I'm going to tell you about some hope in the world of sci-fi, fantasy, and horror. I want to introduce you to The Strain. The Strain is an upcoming FX channel, right? I don't know. FX TV series. The Strain is an upcoming TV series on FX based on the book of the same name by Guillermo del Toro. The same guy who did Hellboy, which honestly was pretty awesome, is doing his own vampire series. Now, I'm not 100% certain if he's involved heavily in the production of the show, but I suggest you go check it out. There is a link to the trailer below. And see for yourself. And that brings us to the end of today's episode. As always, it was a pleasure hanging out with you guys today. My name is EJ Spurl, and please like, comment, subscribe, and by the way, anybody who comments or subscribes on today's episode is going to receive somebody. One lucky viewer today is going to receive a copy of Children of the Halo in ebook form. That pretty much goes for any kind of ebook reader you have, so it's kind of a one-size-fits-all kind of bundle. Children of the Halo by yours truly. Hope you enjoy. Or something.